I definitely think we're taking steps in the right direction. Having Sammy on the field today, getting some reps. Zay, second week of actually getting some reps as well. And even Dre still making plays. I think we're definitely coming together very nicely. Still minicamp is still early in the offseason. Well, later in the offseason, but early in the season in the big picture. But we're just taking steps in the right direction and trying to stack practices. It means a lot. Me and Coach McDermott have been talking since day one. As far as just stretching myself and being more of a vocal leader. And that's something, it wasn't always natural for me. I've always been a lead by example guy. But third year here, seventh year in the league, guys look to me and guys look for veterans for that vocal leadership. And that's why I have to step in and go out there and display it every day. Not only be verbal with it, but also show it in my approach and what I do each and every day. Of course, if we would have got a player like Jeremy, that would have been great for us as a team. But I mean, he had a decision to make. You don't know what factors in on that in the big picture. That's totally up to him. He's a great player. Would have loved to have him here, but I mean, now that he's not, if we see Baltimore, then it's just he's a opponent of ours. But it's no bad blood or anything. I know Shady probably say something differently, but nah, Macklin's a great guy, and I wish him the best in his career. I think we're definitely far along. We've been at it right now since April 3rd. We've had some time to talk to each other. Get to know each other off the field, but as well as on the field, get to know each other, body language on routes, just talking through routes, what we see on the film. And I think I've got a good feel for those guys, and just got to continue to keep building off of what we have now and let it carry over to training camp as well.
Well, really, until that comes through via the league, we really can't discuss that. We're always going to look. We're always going to look to add at every position. Adding competition is healthy. And there's positions that perceptually some may say, hey, check the box, they're good. Well, we're always going to look to add, even at those positions. So that's the pursuit of winning, that we have to stay. We've got to stay hungry. Yeah, I have. When you look at Tyrod, and certainly this is not a new offense for Tyrod because of his familiarity with Rick Dennison and from their time together in Baltimore. That said, it's a new offense because the offense he was in last year was different than what we're asking him to do this year. So I've really been impressed with the leadership, the intangible qualities that are inherent or that must be inherent to that quarterback position. And I've watched Tyrod develop in those areas, and that's important as we look to move forward. And there's leadership qualities at that quarterback position that are important to winning football games, and I think he's done a nice job in that area. And he's done a nice job with the playbook to this point. I give a lot of credit to Phil McGagan, the receivers coach in this case, and Chad Hall. They've worked with Zay. Zay's been hungry, and that's an important quality to have for a young player, and in addition to all of us, that he's gotten after that playbook, and he knows the inside and the outside, and so there's some position flex there. Yes. Yeah. Well, we've got some good depth there. With you start with Zay, and then you get right down through. Walt Powell's had a nice spring so far, and Des Lewis has done a nice job. Philly Brown's working in there. I'll tell you, the guy that's really stood out has been Andre. He's done a phenomenal job, not only on offense but also special teams. Very, very solid performer. Day-to-day, consistent, and just really, that's been a nice pickup for us so far, and really appreciate his leadership. Well, we went through the process with Jeremy in this case, like we go through the process with a lot of guys, and at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for this football team, and so within our parameters and what fits for us, and sometimes that works out in the end. Sometimes it doesn't. At the end of the day, in this case, we've moved forward, and then obviously we all know Jeremy has as well. So, and we wish him well. But in this league, you can't get too high and too low, and you've got to be mentally tough and understand the big picture at all times.